The other day, I was listening to a song called The Great Rising by the King's Rifles from their debut album, Love and Revolution. And at the end of the song, there's a snippet of a speech by Patrick Lumumba. And it got me thinking about the recent elections in Malawi. For those that don't know, in 2019, Malawi held a presidential election. The opposition parties went to court complaining of gross irregularities in the election process. The trial went all the way to the Constitutional Court, and the Constitutional Court ruled that due to gross irregularities, the results of the election would be null and void, and that Malawians would go to the polls again. In June of 2020, Malawians went to the polls again, and the opposition alliance party that had been formed won the election. I can broadly say that the overwhelming feeling in the nation was a feeling of hope, renewed hope, and a sense of victory. But what I want to dwell on now, almost a month after the election, is regardless of your political affiliation, that fight that Malawians fought was not purely to win an election. Thousands of Malawians took to the streets to have their voices heard. The story of what happened in Malawi can be categorized as several moving pieces all converging at one time. The organization of political parties and their supporters, the unyielding fight of civil society organizations, the zeal of lawyers upholding the Constitution, the bravery of judges to uphold the rule of law, the army fulfilling their role to protect all Malawians. But most importantly, it was the thousands of Malawians that left their homes and left their jobs to speak with their feet and with their voices. In December of 1964, Che Guevara spoke at the United Nations General Assembly, and in his speech he said, "The great mass of humanity has said enough and has stepped forward. This march of giants will not stop until true independence is won." These actions that Malawians took culminated in His Excellency Dr. Lazarus Chakwera being sworn in as the 6th president of Malawi. But we didn't do this for him. We didn't do it for any political party. We did this for us. Societies are indeed made up of leaders. But this victory belongs to all Malawians. We did it because we want a chance. We did it because we want to get sick and go to a hospital where we can be treated and there's medicine. We need a chance to send our kids to school and get a valuable education. We want a chance to graduate from universities and be able to get a job that gives us a respectable life. We did it because we want to be rewarded for work ethic and innovation. We did it because we all want a chance to be awarded a contract based on our capacity and our ability to do the job. We did it because we are sick and tired of foreigners plundering our resources, claiming Malawian citizenship when it suits them, but brandishing European passports when it's time to travel. These are values that all Malawians share, regardless of your position on the political spectrum. And as much as we have expectations of our government, we don't expect the government to fix every single problem. In the days following the election, I opened my Twitter and I saw jokes and conversations and people from certain regions voting a certain way, or certain tribes voting for a certain thing, and jokes about people from the north and people from here and people from there. But these jokes soon degenerated into a fight about tribalism. I bring this up because the most insidious thing about colonialism is its ability to divide and conquer. And this is what corrupt governments do the world over. They create a sense of us and them. So how is it literally, days after this so-called victory of ours, was there division amongst the ranks? By the time that a cabinet list was eventually announced in Malawi, the honeymoon phase was well and truly over. But then it got me to realize that Malawians need to understand that there is a difference between elections and politics. Malawi is not going to change if we fall back into the same habits. Malawi will not change if we fall back onto the same partisanship and pettiness, the same stereotypes and conventions. It is incumbent on all of us as young Africans to set our own agenda. The past is the past. The future belongs to the organized and to the committed. The cultural paradigm shifts that must take place, that calls on all of us to have a renewed sense of hope, a renewed sense of work ethic, a renewed sense of togetherness, a renewed sense of I am my brother's keeper, I am my sister's keeper, a sense of national pride. This is something that has to come from within. There is no leader that is going to come and do this for us. And unless we make all of those changes, as we sit and complain and say that everything since 1994 hasn't gone well and we've wasted 26 years, I promise you that unless those cultural paradigm shifts take place, we'll be sitting here 26 years from now complaining about the same things that we've been complaining about. And I know in my heart that those shifts in our culture, in our lifestyle, in the way that we see things, they don't happen at the ballot. They might coincide. One might even come after the other. But elections alone are not the change that we seek. My grandfather is 95 years old, and he voted in this election. If I am lucky enough to live to 95, what will I have done? Not what will a president have done, not what will a political party have done. What would I have done? What would I have done for my grandkids to make Malawi a better place? This is our chance, and this is our moment to put our hands in control of our destiny. To His Excellency, the President, his government, and his administration, I wish them the very, very best, but the inescapable truth has and always been that we as Malawians are the only savior that we have been waiting for.
Good morning. You young Africans must do something for Africa. And you are not going to do it by tweeting, no. You are not going to do it through Instagram, no. You are not going to do it through Facebook, no. You are not going to do it through social media, no. The last time I checked is that you must roll up your sleeves. You must roll up your sleeves and go into the arena of action. Suffer, sweat, plant the tree in the knowledge that those who plant the tree may never enjoy its shadow. But the joy is that the planter of the tree has planted the tree. Another generation will water the tree. Another generation will prune the tree. Another generation will enjoy her shade. God bless you.